Good morning, everyone. Ata Marie, and welcome back to Monday Morning Spirituality. Here we are again to consider connecting with ourselves, with other people, with the natural environment, and with the divine. So today we're going to focus on connecting with ourselves. It might seem a bit of a strange thing to do, but it's important because many of us struggle with recognizing our feelings, and we pay little attention to what's going on in our mind. It's as if we have a whole interior landscape just waiting to be explored. So how do we begin? It's really simple. We take time to slow down. And we're going to practice that now just for 20 seconds. If it's easier for you to close your eyes, then do that. That's what I'm going to do, and we'll count through 20 seconds. How was that 20 seconds for you? You might have noticed noise, been distracted, or you might have had an inner distraction, like a rumbling tummy, or a thought that came to mind which you want to pay attention to later. It might have been a welcome break, or not much of anything at all. Don't worry. It's really rare for us to slow down. It's a new experience for many. But decades ago, when television was just introduced, life's pace was slower and pauses were programmed. There was no Netflix going straight on to the next episode before we've had time to catch our breath. There was nothing to give us time to reflect. So the gaps were provided by interludes for the television programs. Very simple interludes so that the technical people had time to catch up, make any adjustments they needed, and comfort stops if that was necessary. So here's an example of the sort of interlude that was offered when television began. So that's it, just a simple black and white reel holding a space between what had been and what was to come. Holding a space. Now there's an old spiritual practice called the examen that helps us hold a space between what has happened during the day and what might happen the next day. It gives us time at the close of the day to reflect on the things that have helped us, the things that have hurt us, and what we might need to discover in the day. A story is told in the book Sleeping with Bread of starving children rescued at the end of war and finding it troubling to sleep, disturbed by what they had been through and really anxious about the next day, worrying that they might not have anything to eat. Someone hit upon the idea of giving them some bread to hold. And the carers realized that slowly these children began to relax. The things of the day gradually became easier, and they had a bit more confidence going into the nighttime that the next day would still enable them to be provided for really well. So, Same sort of principle for us. Doing the examine can mean nourishment for our souls. What we learn, what we process, and what we prepare for the next day. So here's how we go about it. First of all, turn off any devices. And we know that accepted science tells us it's important to do that for an hour anyway before you go to sleep, so your sleep patterns are not disturbed. So turn off any devices. Ensure you won't be interrupted. You might have to perhaps ask someone in your household to turn music down a bit, or ensure they leave you alone, and put the dog out of the room. They always get in the way. Have a notebook and pen handy. Okay, old-fashioned, but relevant because it's not a screen, and it enables you to make a note of what your experience has been like, because it's really easy to forget otherwise. Then take a few long, slow breaths. Long, slow breaths. Invite the loving presence to guide you. Then you ask yourself these two questions and give yourself space, perhaps 5 or 10 minutes, to let answers form. The questions this week are: when have I been most fully alive today? When have I been most fully alive today? And the second question: when have I pretended to be something or someone that I'm not? When have I pretended to be something or someone I'm not? Those questions are a beginning, helping us notice what's going on within, shining a torch on the pathway into our interior landscape. So try those a few times during the week and see how you get on until we meet next time. So we close with a benediction, a blessing. May chances to pause bring moments of peace. May your soul's landscape emerge from the shadows of unknowing. May you open yourself to the love walking beside you always. He te rahina. See you on Monday.